Gadadhar Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're gonna continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter 22, and we are on text 45, no?
46, sorry.
6, thank you. 46. So, Swam eva brahmano bhunte.
Swayam eva brahmano bhukte.
Swam vaste swam dadati cha.
Swayam vaste swadadati cha.
Tasyevanugrahenanam.
Tasyevanugrahenam.
Bhunjate kshatriyadayah.
Bhunjate kshatriya adaya.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras eat their food by virtue of the Brahmanas' mercy. It is the Brahmanas who enjoy their own property, clothe themselves with their own property, and give charity with their own property. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped with the words Namo Brahmanaya Devaya, which indicate that the Supreme Lord accepts the Brahmanas as worshipable gods. So Krishna, he worships the Brahmanas, and he's setting the example for us to worship the Brahmanas. The Supreme Lord is worshipped by everyone, yet to teach others, he worships the Brahmanas. Everyone should follow the instructions of the Brahmanas, for their only business is to spread Shabda Brahma, or Vedic knowledge, all over the world. Whenever there is a scarcity of Brahmanas to spread Vedic knowledge, chaos throughout human society results. So we can see right now, currently, why there is chaos in society. Because we do not have the expert Brahmanas who are enough of them to give this knowledge of the Vedas to everyone. Since Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are direct servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they do not depend on others. In actuality, everything in the world belongs to the Brahmanas, and out of their humility, the Brahmanas accept charity from the Kshatriyas or kings and the Vaishyas or merchants. So the Brahmana, they are rightly placed as they have taken complete shelter of Krishna, and so they are dependent on Krishna. You know, we make so many, we have so many shelters. We may have shelters in our whatever, you know, parents, children, wife or husband or job or our own physical strength or our fame. We may have so many shelters, but our real shelter is Krishna. And the Brahmanas know that, and they are completely dependent on Krishna. That's the reason it's said that the whole world actually belongs to them, because they're dependent on Krishna directly. Everything belongs to the Brahmanas, but the Kshatriya government and the mercantile people keep everything in custody like bankers. And whenever the Brahmanas need money, the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas should supply it. It is like a savings account with money, which the depositor can draw out at his will. The Brahmanas being engaged in the service of the Lord have very little time to handle the finances of the world, and therefore the riches are kept by the Kshatriyas or the kings who are to produce money upon the Brahmanas' demand. Actually, the Brahmanas or Vaishnavas do not live at others' cost. They live by spending their own money, although it appears that they are collecting this money from others. Kshatriyas and Vaishyas have no right to give charity, for whatever they possess belongs to the Brahmanas. Therefore, charity should be given by the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas under the instructions of the Brahmanas. Unfortunately, at the present moment, there is a scarcity of Brahmanas, and since the so-called Kshatriyas and Vaishyas do not carry out the orders of the Brahmanas, The world is in a chaotic condition. The second line of this verse indicates that the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras eat only by virtue of the Brahmana's mercy. In other words, they should not eat anything which is forbidden by the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas know what to eat, and by their personal example, they do not eat anything which is not offered first to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They eat only prasad or remnants of the food offered to the Lord. The Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras should eat only Krishna prasad, which is afforded them by the mercy of the Brahmanas. So Prabhupada is pointing out that all of us should follow in the footsteps of the Brahmanas and accept only Krishna prasad. They cannot open slaughterhouses and eat meat, fish, or eggs, or drink liquor, or earn money for this purpose without authorization. In the present age, because society is not guided by Brahmanical instruction, the whole population is only absorbed in sinful activities. Consequently, everyone is deservedly being punished by the laws of nature. This is the situation in this age of Kali. So we have moved away from the religious principles, and that is what is causing us our suffering, our misery. Yedrishi Bhagavato Gatiratmavad
ये दृश्य भगवता गति आत्मवाद
Ekantato Nigamibihi Pratipaditana
एकांततो निगमगभि प्रतिपादिता न
Dushyanto Adabra Karuna Swakritena Nityam
तुष्यन्तु अद्रभ करुणा स्वकृते नित्यम्
Konama Tat Prati Karoti Vinoda Patram.
को नाम तत्प्रति करोति विना उद्पात्रम्.
Pṛthu Maharaj continued, how can such persons who have rendered unlimited service by explaining the path of self-realization in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whose explanations are given for our enlightenment with complete conviction and Vedic evidence, be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction? Such great personalities can be satisfied only by their own activities, which are distributed amongst human society out of their unlimited mercy. Great personalities of the material world are very eager to render welfare service to human society. But actually, no one can render better service than one who distributes the knowledge of spiritual realization in relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, one who can actually tell us our real position is our greatest benefactor. So, that's the pure devotee. The pure devotee is telling us our position. All living entities are within the clutches of the illusory energy. Forgetting their real identity, they hover in material existence, transmigrating from one body to another in search of a peaceful life. So, this is our position. We are completely forgotten who we really are. And we are taking one body after another in this material world. We want happiness, we want peace, and that's why we are going. We desire to enjoy happy one body to another. Since these living entities have very little knowledge of self realization, they are not getting any relief. Although they are very anxious to attain peace of mind and some substantial happiness. Saintly persons like the Kumāras, Narad, Prahlad, Janak, Sukadev Goswami, and Kapiladev, as well as the followers of such authorities as the Vaishnava Acharyas and their servants, can render a valuable service to humanity by disseminating knowledge of the relationship between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entity. Such knowledge is the perfect benediction for humanity. So the pure devotees, the Mahājans, what service they are doing is they are telling us, they're giving this confidential knowledge of our relationship with God. And this is the benediction, because otherwise we are going about thinking we are the body, completely forgotten that we have a relationship with Krishna. But it's the devotees who are telling us that, hey, you're not the body, wake up. The eternal soul, part and parcel of Krishna. You have an eternal relationship with Krishna. Knowledge of Krishna is such a great gift that it is impossible to repay the benefactor. Because it can bring us out. We have been in this material world for millions of lives. It doesn't seem so. Why? Because we keep forgetting. We forget our past lives. But this knowledge is the greatest gift that we are getting. It can help us re-establish our loving eternal relationship with Krishna. And we can be completely happy, completely joyful in that relationship. And that's why Prabhupada is saying it's impossible to repay the benefactor who is giving us this gift. Therefore, Pṛthu Mahārāja requested the Kumāras to be satisfied by their own benevolent activities in delivering souls from the clutches of Maya. So Pṛthu Mahārāja is saying, you kindly be pleased by your own activities. What can I give you? I have nothing. Nothing belongs to me. I have nothing to give you. I cannot repay what you are giving me. So you kindly be pleased by your activities, like how we offer, again, that, the Ganga water to Ganga herself, kindly be satisfied with this water. Or, as you all said yesterday, offer the bhoga to Krishna, belongs to him. The word Vinod Patram can be divided into two words, Vina and Uddha Patram, or can be understood as one word, Vinoda Patram, which means joker. A joker's activities simply arouse laughter, and a person who tries to repay the spiritual master or teacher of the transcendental message of Krishna becomes a laughing stock, just like a joker, because it's not possible to repay such a debt. The best friend and benefactor of all people is one who awakens humanity to its original Krishna consciousness. So here we know the Patram, joker, means if we think we can ever repay the debt to the pure devotees, then we are making a fool of our own self. If we feel we can repay the debt to the spiritual master, then we are being a fool by ourselves. We are never able to repay the debt, because the spiritual master is helping us establish our relationship with Krishna. We have long forgotten this relationship, but he is helping us establish this connection with Krishna. So how can we repay? And then, so that's why Prabhupada is saying, one who gives us Krishna consciousness, one who helps us to remember Krishna, he is our best friend. He is the best benefactor of everyone. We want to be best friends of people. Then Lord Chaitanya tells us how we can be someone's best friend. He says, Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh. This is what Lord Chaitanya is saying. That's how we can be someone's best friend. But then one may say, oh, but then somebody is suffering, they need some material help. Sure, do it. Do it. Nobody's stopping for that. But also give Krishna consciousness. Help people remember their original position as parts and parcels of Krishna. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes. So that means that when in the olden times, Brahmanas were considered so exalted, that was the reason, because they were providing everything.
Because they They were helping, giving the spiritual knowledge to everyone, no? They were
Yeah,
the
all the
ones,
classes.
yeah, they were
They
the
were
ones
connecting
who,
all the classes to Krishna,
yeah,
is it?
yes, yes. They were connecting all the classes to Krishna. Because of them, there was peace, order in the society because they were doing their duty. So the kings were
Mm,
doing their duty well. So because the Brahmanas and the kings were doing their duty, the Vaishyas were doing their duty well. And because the
mm,
Shudras could see that the Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas are doing their duty well, the
mm.
Shudras would do their duty. The downfall happened when the kings saw that the Brahmanas are not doing their duty. That's in
Oh.
Kali. So then they said, well, they're not doing the duty. Why should we do ours? So
Mm,
that's degradation came.
okay. And was it
Now,
also when
now people have become corrupted, no? That's why.
and
Also,
was it
Yeah.
also when there was this when Shringi's son cursed
Yeah.
Prahlad, Parikshit Maharaj?
No,
Was it also
he-
then?
It was the boy's name was Shringi, right?
Oh no,
The
it was Muni was Shringi or the boy was Shringi.
Anyway, either one. I think it was the boy's name. But anyway, yes, that's when the downfall happened with the Brahmanas,
Mm-hmm.
with that incident
Okay.
that he used his power just to unjustly, unrighteously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the beginning.
Okay.
Maitri Vachan. I'm sorry?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nothing.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so the education and information is so important, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
education and information is so important. Yeah, very important. The Brahmanas were giving the education of the Vedas, of informing us that we are not the body, we are spirit souls. They would teach people how to become Krishna conscious, how to live peacefully in this world, and at the same time cultivate spiritual knowledge so that they could go back home, back to Godhead. Hmm. The Atma Yoga Pataya
The Atma Yoga Pataya.
Adi Rajena Pujita
Rajan Pitam.
Shilam Tadiyam Shamsantaha
Shilam Padiyam Shamsantaha.
Ke Bhavan Mishatam Nirnam.
Kevalam Shitam Nirnam.
The great sage Maitreya continued, being thus worshipped by Maharaj Pṛthu. The four Kumāras, who were masters of devotional service, became very pleased. Indeed, they appeared in the sky and praised the character of the king, and everyone observed them. It is said that the demigods never touch the surface of the earth. They walk and travel in space only. Like the great sage Narad, the Kumāras do not require any machine to travel in space. So the demigods, when they would visit the planet Earth, they wouldn't place their feet on the earth. They would be kind of floating, kind of gliding, gliding or flying in the space like Narad Muni. No need for a spacesuit, no need for a spaceship. They can just go from one place to another. They are also residents of Siddhalok who can travel in space without machines. Since they can go from one planet to another, they are called Siddhas. That is to say, they have acquired all mystic and yogic powers. So that's why they are called Siddhas. The planet where they live is called Siddhalok. Lok means that area, the planet. And the Siddhas, because they have gotten this Siddhi, the mystic powers, the Ashta Siddhi. Such great saintly persons who have attained complete perfection in mystic yoga are not visible in this age on earth because humanity is not worthy of their presence. So anyway, they don't live here on the earth anymore. The Kumāras, however, praise the characteristics of Mahārāja Pṛthu and his great devotional attitude and humility. The Kumāras were greatly satisfied by King Pṛthu's method of worship. It was by the grace of Mahārāja Pṛthu that the common citizens in his domain could see the Kumāras flying in outer space. So that goes to show, no, that he's such a great emperor. He's so good that all the the pure devotees are coming. Lord Vishnu came himself. Otherwise, they don't want to come. But because he's so good, that's the reason they're coming to see him. So it's almost time up. Shall we stop here, Lord? Better, yeah, that's longer. But did anyone want to add anything, comment anything? No, then Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.